I said I wasn't gonna upload today, but I couldn't help myself, bro. I couldn't help myself. Charles Barkley,
Welcome back,
all the smoke.
Atlanta, day 2.
Day 2.
Yesterday was a good day, man.
Man, we always killing Atlanta.
And then we finished it off at your house, laughing and joking.
Yeah,
And then, man, today, special. We finally got a chance to finish the inside the NBA roster off.
Yes.
And it's only right, man. We finished with the one and only Charles Barkley,
Sir
man. Thank
Charles.
Hey, man,
Let's see
thank
what
you.
Charles
Hey, man,
talking
number
about.
one, I just want to say I'm proud of you guys, man.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you for your success. I mean, not the NBA.
Hey, all the smoke, really the OGs of this basketball
That's just
podcast and
talent.
stuff. They really the OGs.
You have to find a way to figure out, like, how am I going to make money the rest
next?
of my life?
Right.
So I'm proud of y'all, man. Keep doing y'all thing. And
Appreciate
thanks for
it,
having
man.
me.
Thanks
You
for
paving the
being
way.
Y'all
Like,
had no
you
big-ass
said.
Shaq in here?
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, we had the Shaq.
We had to have him at a sports bar because, he wanted to eat while we did the interview.
Hey, man, is he the biggest 50-year-old
Kid.
in the
ever.
history of civilization?
I played with
Nah,
Shaq.
bro.
I'm saying he was walking around naked, tackling trainers naked, fucking with like
They be saying the same thing about Bron. I don't know about all that naked stuff, but they said he a big ass kid.
Shaq
I
was.
feel like a lot of people think athletes are some serious ass people, but like at the end of the day, they just like us, bro. They just really good at what they do, bro.
menace, but as soon
They
as the
just
ball
like
went
us
up,
at
it
the
all
end of the day, bro.
switched.
Man, we can be walking around the studio, mind our own business. That big motherfucker just tackle
Tack
you.
for no
Yeah.
reason.
I'm like, yo, man.
And he's not little neither. He's huge.
First of all, he's the biggest human being in the world.
In the world.
In the world. But he got a pure heart, man.
Oh, great
I got
guy.
a great relationship with him, Chuck. I'm in court for a traffic ticket, and I had something else in my car, and I'm sitting there thinking, don't know what's about to happen. The judge, stand up, Mr. Jackson. And he's like, give me a second. Like, you know this guy? It's Shaq on FaceTime. They dropped all my charges.
Talking to the judge?
Yes.
Jit got connects crazy, bro. What the hell? I ain't know you become some superstar athlete, then you start to know people in the system.
The judge just said, hold
That's
up. So as soon as I
ridiculous,
sat
bro.
down, he's like, stand up for a second. Didn't even say nothing to me. Called Shaq. He's like, you know this guy? And Shaq making a face on FaceTime, and they dropped all my charges.
That's
dope.
ridiculous, bro.
Shaq is the most random dude. Like, one day we stood in the studio, he's like, yo, say hello. I'm like, who? Say hello. It's Dr. Phil. I'm like, Shaq. Dr. Phil. He
Bro,
FaceTime with
what,
Dr. Phil.
bro?
And then, like, one time he's like, my man Ron, who's like the animal expert. And like, he said, hey, say hello. And I'm like, who is it this time? It's Ron, the expert from down in Florida. I mean, he is the funny, like,
Random.
dude, how the hell you FaceTiming Dr. Phil?
He all over the place.
He all over the place. Yeah.
Thanks.
Man, speaking of Shaq,
Dr. Phil, bro. What the hell, bro?
being a big human, you look good. We just
Dr.
noticed
Phil.
you said you finally got your 2 hips replaced. You're down about 50 pounds. Talk to us about that.
Two?
Man,
Two?
you know what?
Two is crazy.
It's getting weird. I'll be 60, which is crazy.
This year?
Like, shit, next month, like a month.
Nice.
Not next year,
Right.
this year, like in a
You look
month.
good for
Right.
60. Pause. You look good for 60.
You know, I was talking to Dr. J recently, and he's like, yeah. 'Cause when I got to the NBA, him and Moses were like 35. We call him Gramps at 35.
Right.
Now I'm like, you know, me and my boys are like, yeah, man,
He doubled it.
you know, we're going to be 60 like in a month.
You better
You got to
double
do
it.
something.
That's a blessing.
So, but my doctor told me, man, especially, you know, being black, we don't take good care of ourselves when it, you know, obesity and diabetes and things like that is rampant in our communities.
Health.
And
Diet.
I had gotten really
All that
fat,
stuff.
to be honest with you. I'd gained, I just gotten out of shape for just being lazy, 1st and foremost, because I was in pain all the time. I'm like, I'm tired of working out. Shit, I
Right.
worked out my whole life.
Right.
And I just got tired. Then my hips got bad. And my doctor, he said, I'm gonna give you new hips. He said, but you gotta lose weight, man. He said, I see a lot of fat young people. I don't see no fat old people. He told me to get my ass in shape. So in the last few months, I'm down about right at 50, but I gained like 92.
Wow.
You know, 'cause you can't do anything when you get those hips.
92?
So my goal in the next year, so
bro, I don't know if it's
realistically, I
just me.
played at 250. I can't get there.
I don't know if it's just me, but I just can't let myself get inactive, bro. Because I used to work out in high school from each day I was in high school, I worked out. I don't know if I missed any days. If I did, I could count them throughout the whole 4 years. And in the year I was in college, I could count those days I missed on my hands. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I feel like working out to me is just integrated into my whole life. So I don't think I could let that go.
So I was
bro.
up to 350. So my goal is to get to 270. And 270, you don't drop dead, hopefully being 20 pounds overweight.
Well, no, I
But I don't, you can drop dead and get diabetes and high
50.
blood if you're like 60, 70, 80 pounds overweight. So right now I feel great. I'm down 50. My goal is to get to about 270 hey, and get back to
Change your diet or
you
just
got
work
to change
out?
your diet.
Okay.
Bro,
You know,
diet is everything, bro. Diet is everything. I kid you not, bro. You could go work out. You could do lift. You could try to bulk. You could try to do all this stuff. But if you don't focus on your diet, you cutting your gains in half. I'm telling you. Because if you go do that workout, then you go right back to sitting on your couch eating an Arizona or getting a brisk with some chips or something like that, a zebra cake, some Swiss rolls, some junk food like that. You're damn near taking back all the work you just put in. Because now what you put into your body is what you're going to get out of your body. So if you don't put things into your body, that's not going to help your body. Your body's only going to get worse. It don't matter. Because now that you worked out, your muscles break down. You're refueling it with things that are bad for you. It's like taking your car, using all the gas, and then you go try to put diesel gas in a 2004 Honda Civic. It's just going to break down. It's not going to work. It's the wrong fuel you're supposed to put into your system.
I'm trying, like,
Tough.
well, you know, it's crazy. What's really weird, I only eat rice, corn, and potatoes, and clearly everybody tries to tell me those are starches, which I don't know what the hell that means.
Me neither.
Yeah, like, so I'm trying to eat Brussels sprouts. It's only two vegetables I really can stomach, to be honest with you. Brussels sprouts, because you can put like a little turkey bacon in them,
I don't
Yeah.
be eating Brussels
and,
sprouts like that.
and roasted cauliflower. You know, so, you know, I like okra. I'm not eating that shit.
Yeah, I can't eat that.
Avocado.
I don't eat okra. I don't eat avocados.
But things like that. So, but like I say, you got to eat because you can't.
And if you need to start eating the right foods, all you just need to do, just cut out your junk foods. Cut out the drinks with the added sugars. Start drinking water all the time. Cut out the chips. Start finding more of a healthy snack. Get like peanuts or something like that. Or granola bars are a step ahead, but it's still not that good for you. But it's better than what like chips are. If you have, for example, if you eat too much, if you eat a lot of white bread, switch it to wheat bread. Little things like that. Just start basic, and as you get basic, you're gonna start wanting to get more and more into it, and that's how you're gonna get yourself.
At
start
our
eating healthy.
age,
Yeah.
you guys
top
are a
of
lot
that,
younger than me.
it's gonna prevent
I
your
can't
injuries.
work out enough to
Yeah.
eat bad.
Right.
I mean, 'cause they like when I was in my prime, I told people my pregame meals, I got 2 fish fillets, a large fry, and a Diet Coke. That was my pregame meal.
He finished
wonder
off with the
why you
Diet
need
Coke.
two
Well, I want to.
The Diet Coke.
I was like, let me
Diet
wash this
Coke.
down with a Diet Coke. But it was
Diet,
crazy
you
the
need
shit
nothing.
you could eat when you like 21,
Right.
22.
Anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Run
I was
off.
like, after practice, you driving home, I'm like, man, let me pick up me 2 fish fillets, a large fry.
Yeah.
You can wash that thing down with that big Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Take my pregame nap. I'm good to
Ready to
go.
go.
Yeah.
Full
Like
steam.
right now, you pass McDonald's, you gain weight.
You don't even look at it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's funny. Man, recently signed a 10-year mega extension with TNT. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, man.
Talk to us about that process, because I don't know if it was true rumors that the Live Golf were trying to recruit you. And
Before we get right back to it, make sure you subscribe, like, turn on those notifications. We got podcast videos dropping. We got basketball breakdown videos dropping. And we're doing this live on stream very soon. Gonna have the chat on screen and whatnot so I can talk to y'all. We can talk and discuss a whole bunch of different stuff. Discord also dropping soon. So make sure you subscribe. Let's get right back to it.
there was some back and forth.
I had no problem with Liv. I told my boys, because some of those guys are my friends, they asked me my opinion on Liv. I said, yo, man, we're not the moral police.
Right.
The United States do business with China. The NBA do business with China, Saudi Arabia, and everything like that. Don't fall for the selective outrage. And I said, go take that money. You got to take care of your family. I ain't going to say, hey, don't take money from here or here. I said, because if people actually knew where all their money came from, nobody would be working.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah, it's fact. That's facts. And I said, so TNT called me in because my magic number was 60, right around there. You know, I've been so lucky and blessed. I played in the NBA for 16 years, been on television for 22, going on 23.
Underpaid though. your
Yeah,
whole
no,
NBA
but I'm
career.
saying if I don't have enough money by now, I'm the biggest fucking, hey, I'm the biggest idiot in the world. If I ain't got enough cash by now, I said, guys, I'm winding down. Because one thing I'm very realistic about, when I'm around old NBA players, I know my shit ain't gonna be working later, but I don't care. I got the
What do you mean by that? His ain't gonna be working later. What do you mean by that?
privilege to be Charles Barkley and the greatest life ever. But whatever happens down the line, because of my body been worn down, beat up, it's all good. I got to build my mama house, my grandmother house. I got to send my nieces to college. I've lived a great life. And I know my body, whatever happens down the line happens, it is. So I want to be able to like travel the world, enjoy life for the next few years before it all kicks in. Oh shit, I could drop dead next week. It is what it is. I ain't upset about that. I've lived 60 years, a great life. So I say, hey, I want to wind down. And they said to me, listen, this is the deal. We need you. And I love TNT. They've been great to me. They says, we gonna have to bid on the NBA again. You know, we're paying like $2.5 billion a year. That number's gonna be close to probably $4 billion in a couple years.
Billions.
And they said, we need you to stay on
It's insane.
if we're gonna bid that type of money. And I said, well, I really wanna wind down. They're like, well, we need you to stay at least X amount of years, 3 or 4 or 5, somewhere in there. But we just wanna make sure if you still wanna keep working, we wanna sign you for 10 years. I says, there's no chance I'm gonna fucking be here in 10 years. I'll be fucking 70 years old. And I said, I will stay through the transition if y'all bid on the NBA. And I said, because you guys been great to me. So I signed for 10 years. I don't think it's zero chance I'm gonna make it for 10 years. But those negotiations are gonna start in the next year. And like I said, it's probably gonna be the thing that scares them and they're worried about. You know, you saw with the NFL, Amazon came in.
Streaming.
Yeah, and bought the NFL. I think the NBA is
TNT
gonna
don't wanna lose the
listen
NBA.
to Apple. It's gonna want sports now apparently, and Amazon. So that number could be way more than $3 or $4 billion because Apple and Amazon got all that cash. So the next 3 years are gonna be very interested in the sports world. But I told them, hey, you guys been great to me. I don't want to hang you out to dry.
Right.
If y'all gonna bid on the NBA, I'll stay through the transition. I was happy to sign the deal because they were great. But man, you know, I've been so lucky. I want to thank Dick Ebersol, my mentor, who mentioned television to me, because you guys in the same boat as me. And man, when this shit over, you're like, I ain't got no job.
What I'm gonna do?
What I'm
I
gonna
ain't
do?
gonna lie, is it just me or do you like to hear like the business talk of basketball and like things in this whole sphere? I don't know. I like to hear
And
stuff
I
about
tell brothers this,
it.
especially
Even though
brothers.
it don't relate to me, but
Yo, man, you got to find
It's cool to
something to
hear.
do because you still young. You ain't gonna have no income coming in, and you got to find a way to keep making money. That's why I told you at the beginning. I'm proud of y'all for doing y'all thing because, man, I call it the owl syndrome. Because I get guys who call me. They're like, "Yo, man, I need some shoes." I'm like, "Dude, you would blah blah like call get some shoes." They're like, "Yo, man, I'm an owl now." You know, people call like,
Who?
Stephen who? Matt who? like when you call and try to get tickets and shoes and things, like you become an owl, I call it. And I says, oh, you're an owl now. I said, yep. I don't get no free stuff anymore. But so you got to find a way to stay in the game. And I was so lucky because of Dick Ebersol to go right into television. But man, that's why you got to start. Number one, you got to save your money. You got to plan for the future. And you got to figure out what you want to do.
you heard that first part. Save your money. I know a lot of y'all probably watching this video don't be saving your money like that. Save your money, bro.
Because you got to find something to do. Because 24/7,
Like I said before, bro, you eat healthy, you're gonna start going out all the time, and now you're gonna start saving even more money.
with
Telling
nothing
you,
to do is
just
dangerous.
get natural foods.
How long you been at TNT?
Grocery shop. I don't know if y'all heard of that before, but a lot of y'all don't eat right. A lot of y'all don't even know what grocery shopping is. Grocery shop. Don't even know how to do it.
22. I'm going
Gotta
on
start
23
somewhere,
now.
though.
So them 10 years gonna fly by. Them 22
I
years
know.
flew by. Them 10 years gonna fly
Yeah,
by.
they're going to fly by. But Jack, my thing is, man, I want to travel the world and enjoy my life before I,
Yeah.
'cause,
Slow
man,
down.
the stuff that we do to our bodies ain't normal.
Yeah.
And I don't call names, but when I go see some of the old all-time greats and see the shape they're in,
Yeah.
like playing sports, it ain't the best. It's the greatest job in the world, but it
Beat
ain't
your
the best
body
thing
up.
for your body.
Not
Beat your body up.
Yeah, it gets your ass.
You
Yeah,
playing
it
a
gets you.
sport.
Did you?
You hard down playing a sport ever since you was probably 5 until you about 40. And imagine all the contact, all the days you practice, the hard practice, the double workouts, the triple workouts, the limited rest, the limited sleep, the bad food. Add that stuff on top. then where are you gonna end up going? The good thing now though is that now you realize what you could do, that you could change your future by starting making changes right now. You could control that. Stop playing the victim of just circumstances and actually make some change.
I mean, obviously the transition you made look seamless and fun, but did you see yourself? I mean, like you said, you're going on year 23 of talking about basketball.
No, I had no idea. So when Dick Ebersol called me one day, he says, Charles, you want to get together for dinner? I said, of course. Because you guys, y'all probably remember, NBA started on NBC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, it's so funny being old. All these motherfuckers think there's always been, everybody had a cell phone. They think I'm so old, there was no ESPN when we started.
Mm-hmm.
We flew commercial. My first 3 or 4 years in the NBA, we flew commercial.
Wow.
I mean, that's how crazy, that's how long ago it was. And Dick Ebersol said to me, what do you think about going on television? I says, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I said, obviously I gotta play a couple more years, but I don't know what, he says, I think you'll be good on TV. He said, I think you'll be great on TV. He said, you're always gonna be in trouble. I'm like, what does that mean? He says, clearly somewhere along the way you made up your mind you were always just gonna be honest and deal with the ramifications. I said, well, that was actually interesting because when I first started becoming a star, I think I was at the end of my second year, my third year in the NBA. Because my first few years in the NBA, nobody talked to me. It was Doc, Moses, Maurice Cheeks, Andrew Toney, Bobby Jones. I was the rookie. Motherfucker didn't even mention me, didn't come to me. So, and those
about
guys
6'6", 300, ain't nobody want to talk to his ass. They probably thought he was
started getting older. And then at the end of my second year, I started having success. My third year, I think I made the All-Star team. And it was so they started coming to me, and I really wanted everybody to like me. And then I was like, I was trying to answer every question politically correct and blah, blah, blah. And I pulled Dr. J aside one day. I said, Doc, I'm having a hard time. He says, yeah, this is a very, and him and Moses probably were the two great influences for me, talking about, like, Moses got me in shape. But Doc, he says, now, this is a very slippery slope, trying to answer every question, like, and not make him or her not making them mad.
Let me drop a gem for you right quick. Stop always trying to be politically correct with all the people that you're talking to. Stop being politically correct and start speaking your piece. But before you speak your piece, make sure that you educate yourself, and all the things you're talking isn't just our first instinct, our first observation. Don't be one of those people always jumping to conclusions, saying this and that, all because you seen one thing, all because you seen the cover of a book, you're judging the entire book. Can't do that. Educate yourself. Learn.
And he says, it's impossible to do that. He says, so you're gonna have to figure out how you wanna handle this. He said, you can try to make everybody happy, or you can be honest, but with honesty come repercussions. And I tried to do it the politically right way in the beginning, and then I was like, I'm still getting shit from other people.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. He says, now, they're gonna be coming for you. You better be great at basketball, but you can get away with saying what you want to if you're great at basketball. If you suck at basketball and you honest, they're gonna come get your ass. I'm like, okay, I better be great at basketball. So when I was sitting with Mr. Ebersol at that meeting, he says, what happened to make you be honest? He said, I tried pleasing everybody and I realized I couldn't.
Kendrick said it best, bro. Crowned by Kendrick. Can't please everybody.
Guys, no, it's impossible.
Can't, bro.
Somebody mad about something.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, so I said, I'm just gonna be honest and straightforward. And people get mad, fuck them, they get mad.
And on top of that, the only way you'll be able to support and make an argument for something and stand on it is if you truly feel something about it. Because if that's not something that you truly feel, you're just gonna start saying a bunch of BS and start trying to think this is right, and no need for justification. You can't elaborate on it. But if you stand on what you truly believe, that's the only way you can make a legit argument for something.
And I made that decision to just be a straight shooter. And he says, you're gonna be great, but you're always gonna be in trouble because people gonna get mad at what you say. Yeah. And that was kind of the turning point in this whole thing. And like I say, people get mad, and I've lost friends, and people get mad, but I can say this, I've never said anything on television personally about a person. I look at the situation. I try to be honest. I try to be fair. I've criticized the good ones. I've criticized the great ones. I criticized the bad ones. But I actually I can honestly say, I think I've been very fair, especially as a player. Even when I have to criticize a player, I try to be fair about it.
That's really a kind of a common theme in the media right now. Obviously, former players transitioning, but then there almost being a disconnect between former players and current players based off what former players are saying. Is that sensitive players? Is that sometimes you guys feel like because you guys are greats that you can talk, Shaq calls it G14 classified conversation. Like, how do you feel that is right now?
Well, number one, that's a great question. Today's players hate anybody who say anything bad about them. But the first advice that I left out of that story taken by Dr. J, the first thing he said to me, because I was pissed at some guys that said some things about me. He says, young fella, take a step back. He said, the first question is it true? I said, what? He says, when somebody says something about you, even if it's negative, it can be true.
Right. You just might not want to hear it.
Yeah, he says, don't get mad every time somebody says something. Like, first of all, they're doing their job. That's the media's job. Like, there's some guys I hate, number one, who, everybody know I hate Skip Bayless, because I think he deliberately, when you're on television, it's a very
Skip
powerful
Bayless is a
thing.
hater.
People in Idaho, Nebraska, South Dakota, Maine, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, they're like, well, this guy said it on television. I believe it.
So it must be.
It must be true. So I'm very careful. Dude, I never talk about people's personal life.
Skip Bayless is a certified glizzy gladiator. He is certified glazer, bro.
You know, and we've had some conversation about people's sexuality. I said, I don't comment on people's sexuality. I got plenty of gay friends. I got plenty of transgender friends. That's off limits. And I'm never going to answer no questions like that. But I said, I'm never going to get in their personal business. That's not our business. But my criticism, or if I said something positive, it's going to be 100% on basketball.
Right.
But there's guys I watch on television, I say, oh, he don't like that guy.
You could tell with the
Hey, I do the same thing with these breakdowns. And mind you, I'm not even coming at these players when I do the breakdowns. I'm trying to teach y'all. I'm trying to teach the people watching this. I'm not trying to really teach the players. If I do end up teaching them one day, then I'll try to input my knowledge onto them. But what I'm doing right now ain't nothing personal to nobody. There's not a single player in the NBA that I hate. I ain't take none of this personal, because at the end of the day, I respect all of them for doing what they do. Even if they're the best player on the team, the 15th player on the team, all of them I respect it, because it's a hard grind to do all that stuff. Whether it's because like I was saying, the person at the top or the person at the bottom. Because that person at the bottom still got to go to practice every single day. Yeah, they're getting paid. Yeah, they're getting money, but money won't always bring you happiness. But you still got to maintain your mental so then you can still do your role on the team. And then even when you get into the game, you're not even playing in the games. So even from that aspect, I still respect all players. So I'm not doing any of this to critique anybody as a person, because at the end of the day, I still respect all of them, regardless of what they think, regardless of what their morals might be, and all that stuff. I don't know, so I can't really judge them as a person. All I can know is what they judge off of basketball, and them doing what they do. I respect them.
Yes, that ain't
I respect
right.
them all.
Your personal opinion should never matter. Should never matter.
Right.
And he said to me,
I just talk about
when somebody
pure
says
basketball.
something about you as a player, the first question is it true? And these guys today, if they hear something negative about them, they just gonna react. And I don't get mad, but I never go back at them either.
The way I see it, the only way you can properly answer that question is if you drop your ego. You drop your ego, you drop all the things that you feel you tied to yourself, that feel that make you, and things that boost your head up. Let that go for a second. See things clear. See it from a different perspective and judge it for what it is. Then if they're right about something, that you're not good at doing something, go back and fix it. Simple.
Because
Fix it.
the way these lightweight media people, like, they love when y'all go back and forth.
Twisted, yeah.
Weaknesses
They love
are
when you
the
go
only-
back and forth.
Yeah,
Weaknesses are the only thing that can help you get better. So why not fix it?
You see
Why
what
not?
Charles said
Why not uncover all your flaws?
about this
Sorry,
guy?
keep pausing,
You see
but
what he said
I
back
just
to
have thoughts
Charles?
popping up.
You see what Charles said to him? I said, yo, man, don't get those lightweights no ammunition.
That's the only talent they have.
That's the only talent they have. And Jack, you know what's fun about it? They ain't never touched a ball in their life.
nothing.
Can't dribble
Never
and shoot
touched a
gun.
ball in their life.
Right.
You and
Hey.
KD.
That's not me though. That's not me though, bro. I'm telling you. Once y'all see me hoop, or when I show y'all some of the stuff I really be working on, when I be in the lab for real, just wait on it.
He kind of have
Just
an
wait on
interesting
it.
back and forth when you got.
Mind you, I went D2 off my first year. I went D2 from high school to college because I could shoot. Damn near 40% three-point shooter. Only because I could shoot, I went D2. I stopped, and now I got a 37-inch vert. Mix that, I got a hand on. I'm just going to let y'all see.
You guys see each other in person. Is
let
it?
y'all see.
How is
One
that
day.
situation a relationship, or is there one?
He's always been cordial to me. I'm always going to be cordial to him. He's taken some shots at me, and I've taken. KD doesn't get. Okay, so what I said was, I said KD is a great, great player. He is a great, great player. He's sensitive, 100% sensitive.
Everybody's sensitive to an
But
extent.
what I said, and I stick by, I said KD is a great, great player. But he's going to have to win a championship without the Warriors to get the old heads' respect. And I said, and I used the analogy, I said, Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest ever, said, I had to win a championship without Shaq.
Yep.
LeBron
That's what I
says,
do.
I had to win a championship without Dwayne and Chris. The rules are already there. Just because you don't want to follow the rules, you can get mad and call me names. I'm just going to tell you, the way me and the old heads, and we talk about it, we're like, hey, KD's he's a really great player. But he going to have to win a championship before we put him up here with these guys. And I said, Kobe Bryant has said it. He said, hey, I had to win a championship without Shaq.
It's just that simple. KD won a championship on his own. People just gonna look at him different.
Totally different.
That's just how it is.
And I said, and he can.
Hey, mind you, bro, he in Phoenix right now. This was like 2 weeks ago, posted 2 weeks ago, probably recorded like a month ago or so. But now he's in Phoenix. He got the chance to do it. He with D-Book, CP, Ayton. And now they got some depth. They got Ross. They got TJ Warren. TJ Warren, he ain't going to give you 50 like in the bubble, but he'll give you something off the bench. And they got Campaign coming off the bench. I mean, they got pieces now. They got some pieces. So let's see if KD and the Suns could pull it off because they still got a couple years even after this. They got this year, next year. Then we'll see how CP3 continues to age.
Get mad. He called me names and things. I said, hey, KD.
He got a shot, though,
I said,
for sure.
And LeBron, as much as I love LeBron, I said, yo, man, we ain't going to give you flowers until you win one without Dwayne. I said, you join them and y'all won. And he says, I had to win one without Dwayne. That's like, yeah, those are the rules.
And guess what? He won 2 without Dwayne. I don't care if you say the bubble don't count. It do count.
You can
indeed.
get mad when guys said, like, but those are the rules. It's like my rules. Hey, I'm in the Hall of Fame, but I'm in a different wing than the guys who won the championship. I mean,
Still in the Hall of Fame, though.
I know, yeah, but I'm saying though, Jack, hey, I understand. I understand the rules. Like Charles are great, Karl Malone's great, Patrick Ewing's great. They're not at the table with Magic, Bird, LeBron, Kobe. It's levels to this shit. And I ain't mad at that. I understand that. Now, if I could have won a championship, I can go across the room. But the rules are the rules. We have to play by the rules. And this ain't got nothing with motherfuckers on TV who get paid to talk shit. We talking about players.
Right.
We talking about players. We understand, like, yeah, hey, I'm not at the table with Bird, Imagine those guys. Hey, yeah, am I a great player? Yes, I am. I understand that. But there are levels and there's tables to this thing. Steph went up last year.
Yep.
Like, he was already in the room. He got to come over, like Isaiah Thomas. He like, yeah, okay, Steph, come on over now. Yeah, come on over now. I said, like, okay, because AI, Isaiah, John Stockton, those are probably the 3 best little guys ever to play the game. And Steph was an all-time guy, but now he gets to move over like in the Isaiah category.
Yes.
Yeah. So man, I tell him, I say, but I don't mind
And if you say Steph not, just a hater, bro. That's all it is.
these guys. Like,
It's just all it is.
but see, the only thing I hate about, to be honest with you, these motherfuckers, especially KD, Kobe, guys like that. they're all-time greats. But the only time I've ever gotten mad at those two guys, because me and Kobe had this thing one night. Remember that game where he wouldn't shoot?
Mm-hmm.
We had that game that night.
I remember seeing that.
And Kobe starts texting me, calling me motherfucker, asshole, you son of a bitch. And Jack, it was one of the funniest things ever. So we got that game, and I said, yo, man, as much as I love Kobe Bryant, what he did tonight was total BS.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't shoot. I think he took one shot in the second half. And I was like, I didn't like that. Ernest said, what do you mean? I said, he was trying to prove a point. They were getting their ass kicked. He don't have a lot of help. I said, but that's what separates him from Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, when he played against the Celtics, he's like, no, I'm going to get 60. Kobe was trying to prove a point. I didn't have no help. So he starts texting me after the game. So, we get off around 1, 2 in the morning. He texts me like 25 times, calling me every name in the book. And I'm texting him back, yo, man, pick up the phone and call me. No, fuck you, motherfucker, fuck you. But that's bullshit what you said. We go big. I mean, he called me and this goes on for 2-3 hours.
2-3
And I
hours.
said, yo, man, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Fuck you, motherfucker, go to bed.
Why you cursing for tooth?
And it's serious. He texted me probably 20 times. And it was just
Damn.
motherfucker. And we see each other months later. He's, man, I'm sorry. I said, man, you know what? It's all good. You allowed to vent. We hug each other.
That's basically what he was doing.
Yeah. And then we hugged each other, and we were always cool. But it's never personal. I just didn't like what he did that night. But the point I was going to make is, these guys, when I had been saying for 3 years, that dude's the best basketball player in the world. He never called me and said thank you. These guys, I can say 9 great things about these guys.
You only hear that one.
Not one Charles, thank you for the kind words. Nay, I never get that text.
That's how it be, though.
KD played like shit tonight. Hey, fuck you, Charles Barkley. I'm getting that on Twitter and things like that. So that's the only time I get mad. I get mad, then I laugh.
Right.
They never call me and says, hey, man, thank you for the kind words.
Okay.
But if I say one bad thing,
Yeah.
I can say 9 great things.
That one Tim.
One, they go off on me. And that's the only time.
Reposted.
Yeah, that's the only time I get mad. I'm like, yo, man, why don't you ever text me saying great when I'm saying how great you are?
Right, thank
Yeah.
you.
You ain't shit.
Question, you mentioned Skip Bayless, obviously recently with the unfortunate situation that happened with DeMar Hamlin on the Bills. He just had an untimely tweet, and I think he thought that he could say some bullshit and then say something kind of, meaningful at the end, and we wouldn't see through the bullshit. That was brought to attention, but then also the way he's just kind of been disrespecting his co-host, and you have to see Shannon kind of take a deep breath every once in a while. What is just your take on what he is doing and just how disrespectful I feel like he is to players and now his co-host as well?
Yeah.
I don't respect Skip Bayless, bro.
Openly
I don't, bro.
So I really...
All he do is talk shit. That's all he do, bro. Just talk shit and hate. And, bro, you just can't give nobody credit for nothing, bro. I'll never respect him.
I don't like the guy because television is a very powerful weapon.
Right.
Very powerful.
You can manipulate
One of my
so much
mentors
people
is
with
Mike
your voice.
Wilbon.
He don't even realize it, but there's thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands of people listening to him, and they just follow along with him because they know nothing. But he's saying this, so that's what they're gonna take in and think it's true, but it's really not.
He's somebody I admire and really respect.
He's formed his own army of haters, bro. It's ridiculous.
And he did my last 3 books, and he's become like a big brother, father figure. But he said something very interesting to me, and I already knew it. He says, man, being on television is crazy. I said, what do you mean? He says, I've been at the Washington Post for 25 years, did it all. Nobody in the world knew who I was. I go on TV for a year. I can't go nowhere without people running up on me. And I said, man, TV is amazing. It's such, everybody know who's on television, especially if you're successful and you're on television a lot. It is really a big, everybody watch television. And Skip, to me, these guys are real people. And I don't mind you criticizing guys.
Right.
It can never be personal.
Right. That's it.
And one thing I hate about the media, you can tell guys they like and dislike. You can't talk about people on television like that. You have to be fair and honest with people. And I think he is. You can tell who he likes. You can tell who he dislikes because he makes it personal. You can't say bad stuff about.
What? Did what?
And I think he is. You can tell who he likes. You can tell who he dislikes.
Bro, why you say it like that?
Because he
You can tell who he dislikes.
makes it
Bro,
personal.
what the hell?
Like,
What the
you
hell,
can't
Charles? What you on?
say bad stuff about
What you
LeBron
on, Charles?
James.
But everything out your mouth can't be bad.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's
But,
impossible.
yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible. And I've said this before. I think LeBron James is the greatest sports story of all time. You know, you look at Kobe, Kevin, Garnett, Tracy McGrady. I think those probably three of the greatest straight to high school players to
Dwight.
the pros.
Yeah, that's probably three.
Dwight,
Yeah.
he's great. But they all struggled
Yeah.
in the beginning.
He been in his prime since day one.
Braun came out
They
the gate
won.
firing.
That's why I said, for him to come into the NBA at 18 years old,
I ain't gonna lie. People be saying, "Oh, Victor Wembanyama may be the greatest prospect." Victor Wembanyama, bro. I don't know if Victor could have that dominance that LeBron has on the game, because it's just pure like physical athleticism, just going at you. You just can't stop him. Now, can Victor possibly do that? Yes, I possibly, but I feel like that would only be in a scoring respect. Where I feel Bron and his just the way his build is, he's playing both sides. He's athletic. He goes to the rim. You just cannot stop him. I just feel like the way his play style is, his body is like, I don't know if Victor can have that same type of dominance on the game.
he was really good. We had his first game, I think, on TNT.
Sacramento.
Yes. He played really good. But in this generation with social media, he's never gotten in trouble. He's lived up to all the hype.
Brought his
Can we
boys
talk-
along.
Yes.
Can we talk
I think
about
it's
that, bro? He didn't get in trouble, and on top of that, he brought his people with
probably
him. That's
the
a real.
greatest story in sports history.
I agree.
Like, I'm like, to be the number one, be as good from 18 and never really get in trouble
Yeah.
in this society where people are out to get you
Phones everywhere.
everywhere. I think it's probably the greatest sports story of all time.
He ain't get
I mean,
caught
it's
up in
just
nothing.
amazing what he's accomplished, what he's did, and never gotten in trouble.
Yep.
But to Skip's disrespect toward him, I do not like it.
Yeah.
The way he's treating Shannon, clearly, hey, Tom Brady is the GOAT. We get
We
that.
get it.
You don't have to, like,
Shit on your man. That's your man,
Yeah.
though, right? You don't have
Yeah.
to shit on Shannon like that.
but first of all, this dude in the Hall of Fame, he won 3 Super
He
Bowls.
was nice.
ain't chopped liver.
Right.
He ain't chopped liver. But he's been rewarded so much.
For doing that.
Yeah. The way he has made his money and made his living, I have a problem with it. Because,
Yeah.
man, if you make it to the pros, you're a hell of a player.
Period.
I tell people,
That's why I'll never disrespect any pro in my life. I will never come at them as a person. Like I said, I will not come make any pause. I will not make any personal statements about somebody and degrade them in disrespectful ways, because at the end of the day, their profession, I got a huge respect for them.
hey, is everybody LeBron or KD? No. But that number 12 guy on an NBA team, his journey is amazing.
Yeah. The story's
Hey,
amazing.
if you get to be one of the best 400 basketball players in the world,
That
And
says
less
enough
less
right
than
there.
5,000
Exactly,
to ever even play in the
yes. And man, I love these guys. That little stupid ball has given me every single thing in my life. I ain't never had no real job.
And mind you, all those people be saying, "Oh, the dude, how could he talk? He averaged 2 points per game." I see something about this dude who was talking about the NBA is the easiest league to score in, but then everybody in the comments was talking about "Oh, you averaged 3 points a game. You did this, you did nothing." But like, bro, the people who sitting here typing probably can't even go on a court and make 3 out of 10 shots from 3, maybe even 2 out of 10, bro. So I can't even I can't take those people serious.
And don't want one.
Don't want one.
Don't
Take
want
them
one.
serious, just like the people in some of my comments, bro. I can't take them serious.
Hey, I admire these dudes who go, men and women who work 9 to 5, and they're doing it for $27,000 a year.
With a smile on their face.
And I'm like, damn, I admire you, but I don't want that shit. I want to dribble that little stupid ass ball up and down the court.
Easier.
People be
Yeah.
making $27,000 and a half, bro.
I want to stay in the Four Seasons in the Ritz-Carlton. I want to travel the country. I tell these guys, man, we the luckiest dudes in the world.
Absolutely.
By far.
Whenever I get ready to kill over, I just want to be able to say, thank you, big fella. I can't believe this.
Yeah, for real.
I like, man, because of that little stupid ass ball, I done seen the world. I remember one time I was sitting there at the White House with President Obama.
Off topic, Charles Barkley looked like a Ninja Turtle.
I was like, because my hometown only got a couple thousand people. I'm from Leeds, Alabama. Shout out to Leeds. A couple thousand people. And growing up in the projects, I'm thinking like, I ain't even thinking about sports. I only started playing basketball because I wanted to go to college for free. Never thought I was gonna make it to the NBA. And I was like, sometimes when I go home and visit, I was like, man, I grew up in that project right over there. And I'm like, because of that little stupid ass ball, I'm like, I can't believe 60 years later. And I was just sitting there looking at him. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. A little kid from Leeds, Alabama is in the White House. And I got one of my most prized possessions is, and I was laughing. He said, Chuck, you ever been in the Oval Office? I said, oh yeah, we go there all the time. And I said, Mr. President, hell no, I ain't never been to the Oval Office. And there's a picture. He says, let me show you the Oval Office. And you know, he always with a photographer. And I didn't even notice the photographer, to be honest with you. A month later, it's a picture, got on my wall, cherish it. It's me and him standing in the Oval Office. And I can say, I didn't even notice the photographer eating up his ass. He's like standing back, taking pictures with the president. And President Obama sent me this picture of me and him standing. And I remember getting a text from all my friends telling me like, yo man, we so proud of you. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? They're like, yo man, there's a picture on the internet of you and President Obama in the Oval Office.
Never seen that picture.
I haven't seen it. And it came like a month or two later.
Let me see it.
And when I got the picture, I'm like, damn, man.
Let me see what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about, y'all. This pit. Just fitted. Big ass pants, bed, but hey, man, he in the White House, so what can I say? I ain't never been there.
It's so crazy and awesome. My little hometown, seeing me in the Oval Office with the President of the United States, a black president of the United States, with all the racial bullshit that's went on in Alabama. They're like, a black president, you in the Oval Office from a town of a couple thousand people. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So, and since you're speaking on Leeds, how difficult was it growing up there, you know, during the Jim Crow era and all that, while you was trying to figure yourself out as a kid?
You know, it's interesting. We didn't even feel any of that, to be honest with you, because it's so small. But now that I look back, Jack, shit is crazy. And you don't even know it because you kids, we don't know. Because that's like, we didn't even know we were poor.
The norm.
Yeah, like we didn't even know we were poor.
Yeah.
Because
You don't
everybody
know
else
what
is
poor
poor.
is, yeah.
But the shit is crazy now that I think about it. Man, we had a black and a white homecoming queen.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my first time hearing that.
I never heard that.
Oh, seriously. And the shit that's crazy, you're like, I guess they didn't want no drama.
Yeah.
They didn't want no drama. You think? I mean, like I said, I can't prove it.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we're gonna have a black and a white homecoming queen.
Yeah.
What's crazy? Like, dude, we're taping this here in Atlanta. It was a controversy, like in the last couple years, well, the kids wanted to have one prom. And some of the parents like, hell no.
Wow.
I mean, so racism exists, always has, always will.
Yeah.
And you just have to deal with the BS, as I call it. But like,
Some things you
these
just
kids
can't.
like, yeah, we don't want.
Some things you just can't control, bro. You can't control somebody's minds, their beliefs, their feelings. It is what it is. You just got to make the best out of what you
shit
got.
anymore. We're gonna have one prom. And some of the parents are like, no, we're not. And that was right here in Georgia.
Stuck in their ways.
They stuck in their ways. But so, but a couple
bro,
things
I promise
about.
you, you're going to go to one of these low-key ass cities in like Alabama, somewhere in the middle of North Florida. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like in the South. And it's still going to be crazy. Like Virginia, the Midwest too. Like them little areas nobody be talking about. Nah, it's still, people's minds still back in time.
Leeds. It was a great place to grow up. Even though all hell was breaking loose in Birmingham, we're about 20, 30 minutes from Birmingham. You know, we had the church bombing in Birmingham. Selma's right up the street.
Right.
Montgomery's right up a couple hours away. My grandmother told me about it later, but we didn't know. I mean, because trust me, we got the rabbit ears on the TV, so you're not really getting world view.
Right.
But my grandmother, the greatest person ever in my life, she made me learn who Nelson Mandela was. She made me learn who Dr. King was. She made me make me learn who Medgar Evers is. She was such a great woman. But the one thing she always talked to me about was race. She says, now listen, judge people. She said, because there are a lot of great white people out here. She says, you don't grow up believing it's us against them. She says, these white people who, in my life, they're amazing. And that was really important. Like,
Hey, despite all the prejudice and hate that be going on, there's still good people out there in the world. So don't automatically take somebody out the equation all because of their race or what they affiliate with or people they may be similar to. Don't judge a book by its cover. Actually learn the person, figure out who they are, then you'll see their true colors in time.
because there are a lot of black people who are full of shit, who like they're black, but they're not helping our race. And there are a lot of white people out there who are helping our race. I actually learned what was really cool for me. There's a great civil rights hero named C.T. Vivian who passed away in the last couple of years. When I was doing my documentary on race I did a few years ago, he says, now Charles, I want you to remember something. I know you're trying to bring the races together. I want you to know there's always been a lot of race people being racial together. I said, what do you mean, Mr. Vivian? He says, you know, when we talk about civil rights, we talk about majority of the black people, you know, Dr. King and those guys like that. He said, I want you to let you know that there was a lot of great white people marching with us, got killed and things. I said, Mr. Vivian, I promise you I'll make sure people know that. And that was really cool because in our, you know, Jack, we get, and I'm part of the business too. We're in the media business. Man, we get beat over the head so much on negativity because what's really crazy, negativity sells.
Facts.
You know,
That's
me
the
and
crazy
Ernie
thing
were talking
about it,
about, me and
That's
Ernie
the
have a
crazy
podcast.
thing, bro. Hate is what makes money. Hate is what makes money, bro. And haters is your marketing team. Let them work. Wallow 267.
Talking about DeMar Hamlin.
Straight facts.
And I said, man, I was so touched by, I think they've up to about $7-8 million
It was 10
now.
million.
It's 10
million.
close to 10. I says, man, there's so many great people out here. But in our business, we don't talk about the great people.
No.
We tell like, hey, get on TV and talk bad about your coach and other players. We'll put you on TV. I'm like, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in the media. Like Prince Harry. I don't know this dude. Like, yeah, trash your brother, trash the king, trash everybody. Like, yeah, we're gonna put you on every TV show. And I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. I don't judge that. That's his truth. But I'm like, yeah, if you're gonna talk bad about the future king of England, talk bad about your dad who's the king of England, talk bad about your stepmother, like we're gonna put you on TV on every network. You can write a book. That's the world we live in now. Like I say, I don't know this dude, but we don't talk enough about positive.
No.
And we just like, yo, man, white people, black people,
You know,
all type of people gave this dude close to $10 million, as you say.
Yeah.
And they don't know him.
Nothing.
But that touched everybody.
The crazy thing is, people are quicker to hate than they are quicker to show positivity. That's the sad part about it, bro. More people are gonna hate on you if you start doing really good at something. You're gonna see more hate unless people showing love. But at the end of the day, there's still a vast majority more people who gonna show you love and respect what you do. So keep going and forget all the hate that you're gonna get. All the people looking at you weird with the side eye and looking at you crazy, not liking what you're doing. Keep going. Just know that in the end, as a result, they're gonna see what you're working on. They're gonna see what you're doing. But still move silent. Keep your mind right. Keep your mind focused. Keep your mind in the right space. Just keep going. Keep working forward.
I wish positivity sell more than negativity.
I say this all the time, like two things. People will tell you, dang, you giving back somebody, but why you posting it? But then again, if I don't post it, you say I ain't doing nothing for the community.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? It's like crazy. If you
Catch-22.
post it, you're thirsty for it. But if you don't post it, you ain't doing them. But then again, it's like a lot of people don't understand, man. It's like,
Man, we just had this conversation. Number one, first of all, you're 100% correct. And I'm going to tell you why. So my goal, I've been giving $1 million a year away to charity. So I started out at my high school because I want the kids to go to college. Then I went to my college, Auburn.
Mm-hmm. War Eagle.
Then War Eagle, brother. Then I did Wounded Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 8 years, I did HBCUs. And I just did another one about 2 weeks ago, and Kenny says, Ernie, can you repeat that? He says, yeah, Chuck just gave another couple $1 million to Jackson State.
People don't
Jackson
talk
State
about it.
and Bethune-Cookman. Shout out to Reggie Theus, who's the head coach there.
I'll hear more about Chuck talking about somebody's game and critiquing somebody, and that stuff will go viral, but this don't. That's just the problem with this world, bro.
And Kenny says,
That's the problem.
can you repeat that again, Ernie? He said, yeah, Chuck just gave his $8 million to HBCU. He says, Chuck, why don't you tell people? I says, I want to do it because I want to give back.
Mm-hmm.
He says, and that's the problem. Chuck does all this. He don't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, if I tell everybody, they're going to be like, Chuck always bragging about how much money he get to charity.
Exactly.
So I don't tell anybody.
You still get shit.
Yes, yeah,
And
he's
it's
like, he
double
don't do
negative,
shit for the
bro.
black community.
Yeah.
I
It's
said,
just double
Yeah.
negative.
I said, yo, man, I'm not, as I tell my daughter, I said, let me tell you something. Don't you ever give these idiots power over you.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody said, like, I'm going back, way back, when she's a young kid. Shout out to my little grandson, just became a grandpa.
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats.
You know, Ernie and Clark Kellogg, two of the greatest people I've ever known, said, man, being a grandpa gonna be the greatest thing ever happened to you. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be good, I know. I called both of those guys. I said, y'all right, man. This is the greatest thing ever happened to me in my entire life. Shout out to Lil Henry. It's the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. Number one, to see my daughter as a grown person. But the point I was making was, I told her, if somebody criticizes you, says bad things to you, you just keep walking. Keep doing great in school. You'll be a great person. You already broke my heart when you didn't play basketball. I was like,
Right, me too.
dude, it was so crazy, Jack. My daughter went to Villanova and Columbia. She's a great person. She's a really nice person and a great person. She's a great wife and a great mom. Really proud of her. But I gotta tell you something, man. So my daughter, when she was like 2 years old, she was like 6 feet tall. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah, she's going to be
I'm
great.
gonna have the best female basketball player in the world. I can't wait to teach her shit. I says, I'm gonna send her to the best camps. I'm gonna work with her during the summer. I'm all pumped. 6 feet tall, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm like, come on, girl, be a teenager so I can teach you all my shit. Finally, she become a teenager. I
Like,
said, hey,
nah.
you ready? We start playing. I don't think she liked basketball.
Hey, you see where he messed up. He should have already put the ball in her hands when she was about 4. So she was just walking around with a basketball in her hands all the time. And as she began to develop, as her mind began to develop and whatnot, she already had the ball in her hands, and now it's just natural to her. It's just something that's a part of her life now. Since she had it since she was so young, she gets older, and now she's like, I can't leave it. I just can't let this go. I've had this forever. You see, that's where Chuck already messed up. He tried to put the ball in her hands a little too late. Now she already developed all these other skills, all these other habits, all these other things that she like. Now it's just too late.
I like she like basketball.
Maybe this ain't it.
And I'm like, Christiana, when those girls get close to you, pop them. Dad, I might hurt them. I said, yeah, that's the objective.
She got a
I'm bigger than they are. I'm like, yeah, that's an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay. Okay. Hey, can we get together after school today? Yeah, of course, Dad. What are we gonna talk about? As you like basketball? Oh, Dad, I don't like sports.
Yeah, right there.
What do you mean? I don't like sports. Okay, just be a good person. I love you. You're the greatest. I love you. Go in the room.
Hurt.
My daughter don't like sports. She don't like basketball. And after I cried, I got over it. And I said, and I told my friends, I said, yo, man, my daughter just crushed me today. She told me she don't like sports. And I said, but you know what? She's a great person. She's a straight-A student. I'm proud of the woman she is. But, man, I was like, I'm writing down notes, teaching her the jump hook, the up and under. I'm going to work with her on her footwork. She's like, oh, Dad, I don't like sports. It was brutal.
I got 5 girls, so I know the feeling.
Hey, bro, we're going to end this video off here. We're going to do part 2 next week. We're going to probably drop it on Tuesday. If not, I'm going to watch it live. Make sure you go hit that link in the description. Go follow. Live streams coming soon. And also make sure you subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. And we out of here.